It promises to be a dramatic new season in international football with not just an Africa Cup of Nations and Arab Cup later this year, but also a World Cup to qualify for and play in less than 12 months' time. It's getting serious, it's getting real. Could we be seeing Algeria return to the world stage and playing for that trophy behind me there in less than a year's time? Because just round the corner, I know it might not feel like it yet, but the FIFA World Cup qualifiers will be returning in September, and all the build-up starts here already. I hope you're as excited as I am, as Algeria could, if everything went their way, officially qualify for the World Cup come the beginning of September. As more and more information creeps out, we're going to know a little bit more about these upcoming matches and now for the Algerian national team, as well as everyone else across the continent. We'll keep you updated with as well. So cast your minds back, all the way back to March, to a nervy game between Algeria and Mozambique. Well, we thought it was going to be nervy because both teams went into that game on the same point. It ended up being 5-1, and the Somalis did a solid for us as they drew 0-0 to Guinea. So it's a bit of a refresh. Algeria on 15 points, Mozambique on 12. But Algeria, thanks to that win and beating them twice, the goal difference is 11 higher than Mozambique's at the moment. So for me, it's 4 points really if you include that. Botswana and Uganda on 9, and Guinea in 5th place on 7. I mean, not many people are expecting that, were they? Somalia on 1 point, can't finish first. They could still finish second, by the way, although I'm not sure if that's going to be happening. I'd love it to, but that's not going to be happening. In fact, that's definitely not going to be happening. Anyway, enough about the Somalis. So Algeria looking to make it back to the World Cup for their first appearance in 12 years. Goodness me, it feels like yesterday we played in Brazil, didn't it? But you're thinking, well, what's the plan? So 2 games in September and then 2 games in October. I remind you, if you finish first in any group, you will be at the World Cup. If you finish second, the best 4 second-place teams will play each other in playoffs, and the winner of that will then have to play another playoff against someone from another continent. So pretty much what I'm saying is you want to come first to make it nice and easy. So Algeria have Botswana home. That's the next game for the national team, and then Guinea away. So how do we see this panning out? So Algeria-Botswana is expected to be in Tizi Ouzou again, where Algeria have been very successful there. That's where they beat Mozambique 5-1. Baraki seems to have shut after 2 years of being open. I mean, that was not a good ground for us. We lost to Guinea there. We barely beat Niger there. So I'm not surprised Baraki's been scrapped. Tizi may well be the new bleeder, pre-Cameroon, that is. I hope it's not post-Cameroon. So I think it's going to be Algeria-Botswana in Tizi on September the 5th. And this is the interesting one. So we all thought this Guinea away game, I mean, it's still a tough game. We've still got Girassi up top, who's fantastic. Take nothing away from Girassi, even though Guinea won't even be at the AFCON. Goodness me, that is shocking from them. That's actually awful. Guinea against Algeria. Many people were thinking, well, this game could be harmful, especially because we lost to Baraki in Guinea. But I don't know still how. I don't know really how we did that. I know Mahrez was missing and Petkovic had just come in. We're in a much better place now, 12 months on. But this is the interesting thing. Guinea versus Algeria in Casablanca, in Morocco. Now, of course, the questions that are going to come out of that is, one, can Algerians go and watch this game? It would be fantastic, but I'm not sure that's going to happen. We are the away team, of course, but you might get Moroccans there and the locals going in as neutral fans. Obviously, some of them probably supporting Guinea. Some might support Algeria. But if they let the Algerians in, they would fill Casa, I think, but I can't see that happening. But to play both games in North Africa is huge. The places we've had to go already, we've gone to Maputo, we've gone to Kampala. We've been all about the block, but Guinea away, not in Guinea. We thought that Conakry might be given the right to host games come the new season. That doesn't seem to be the case. Guinea's other game, incidentally, Somalia away. That Somalia can't host games either. That's going to be in Uganda, I believe, in Kampala. But Guinea, Algeria in Casablanca, and the irony is, not only could we get some fans there, which would be great considering it's an away game against, I still think, on paper, the toughest team in the group, is that Algeria could qualify for the World Cup in Morocco. That'd be quite a headline if that was to happen. Goodness me. So that's going to be interesting. It's great in terms of the climate. Both games are going to be, I think, 5 p.m. kickoffs. No more 2 p.m. early afternoon, 30-degree heat. Remember that game in Ramadan, players fasting in the heat? Not happening this time. Late afternoon, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock kickoffs in these matches, which is fantastic, of course. Again, playing in North Africa on pitches the players are used to. The travel is reduced as well. Imagine going from Tizi to Casa. Be fantastic for the players. I think that's going to be September the 8th for that one. But yes, Algeria be really thinking now. The fact that they got both games in North Africa is a perfect opportunity to really go and qualify for this tournament in September with 2 games to spare. Now, having said that, we're of course playing in Casa, and by the way, assuming Algeria win at home to Botswana in Tizi, which I think we will, Guinea is still a good team. And we've had this similar games before. We've had Burkina Faso played in Morocco before. Was it Marrakesh? I can't remember. We drew that game. You know, if we come out of Guinea away with a point, it's not the end of the world. 4 points from these 2 games, I think, would be a really good return. But for me, the only threat to Algeria's qualification is Mozambique. Because Botswana and Uganda are 6 points off and with much worse goal differences. And there's only 4 games to go now. So Mozambique have Uganda away and they're home to Botswana. I'm pretty sure Mozambique are going to win in Maputo at home to Botswana. If they go to Uganda and win, I know we beat them 5-1. You've got to take them seriously. But Uganda be thinking, we want to get second spot. It's a real statement win. But I think this international break could be made a lot easier by Uganda going and beating Mozambique. Because that would make things a lot easier. Now, obviously, we've got to go to Guinea and get something as well. But if every result was to go our way, we could seal the deal in September. I suspect not, with Guinea away being a good opponent. Be quite a victory for Algeria. I know I keep saying Guinea away, it's in Morocco, but it's still away from our home. Be quite a statement win if we were to do that. You know, what a year it could turn out to be for Algeria if they could qualify for the World Cup in Morocco and then go ahead and have a good AFCON in Morocco. But let's see, I'm sure there'll be some political nonsense and drama getting involved, and I see in the Women's African Cup of Nations things about displaying the logo, not displaying the logo. For me, it's all nonsense. I'm not blaming either side. I just think it's ridiculous and it's petty. Just get on with what's going on the pitch, please. So, yeah, of course, Algeria's women, incidentally, also played an AFCON in Morocco where they got knocked out in the quarterfinals by Ghana women. I think it's still a good, proud display by Algeria's women's side, having never been to the quarterfinals before. So, anyway, that's the situation. Guinea could beat Algeria, but Guinea can't make the World Cup. There's no way Guinea are 8 points off with 4 games left. I know they're playing Somalia in the first game, which is probably in Uganda, which they're going to win, unless the Somali keeper has a mad one again, because we know Guinea-Somalia last time out, somehow Guinea drew 0-0. Now, Guinea might do better in Uganda. Wasn't a game in Abidjan or whatever as well? Anyway, Mozambique have got to go to Uganda, but they're going to host Botswana. We're hosting Botswana as well. We'll both win that. So it stays a 3-point gap. We go to Guinea. Mozambique go to Uganda. If we both draw, it stays a 3-point gap. It goes to the last 2 games where Algeria do have Somalia as one of the games. And they've got Uganda to wrap it up at home. So, look, it's in our hands. Let's see if this materialises. Wouldn't shock me at all if anyone said, Morocco said, Guinea said, actually, we're not letting you play in Guinea. Probably have to end up playing in Abidjan. But I'd rather play in Casa as a neutral ground. Then go to Conakry or Abidjan, or we've been to all sorts of places. Douala, goodness me, the places we've been to. Francis Town, oh my God, I feel exhausted thinking about it. So anyway, so that's the picture, a bit of a refresher, and these are big games. Now, for the coming weeks, we're going to look at the other groups. We're going to look at who Algeria should be calling up in September, because for me now, you've got to be thinking about Mr. Petkovic, Uncle Vlad. You've got to be thinking about who's your starting 11 for that AFCON. It's not far away. Algeria will play 2 in September, 2 in October, a couple of friendlies in November, the Arab Cup, and then it's December. It's the Africa Cup of Nations, of course, where we've got Sudan in game 1. We've not won an AFCON game still since the final in 2019 in July 19. Oh, that's ridiculous. Oh my God, that was 6 years ago. We haven't won an AFCON game since. Anyway, the AFCON will be a lot more pleasant and the players will have a lot more confidence if we are a World Cup nation. So, anyway, I've rambled on there. We're so back. The game's never been so back. We're trying to lift that one. Whether we will or not remains to be seen. But anyway, Tizi at home, Casa away. Happy with that? I'm pretty sure some people watching this might even try and go to that away game because it's going to be a party if Algeria qualify on September 8th. Let me know your thoughts. Gerassi in Casa. See you next time.